Hello and welcome to the Drep and Stone podcast, the podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle.
Hey.
I say we just get down to business.
Yeah, let's get down to brass tacks.
Taking care of business.
Today?
Every day.
Oh, shit.
Every day.
Every day.
Taking care of business.
Every way?
Actually, I don't know the next
Yeah, I
line.
don't
Yeah,
know.
okay. I say, Kyle, we start the episode by inviting everyone to pull up a chair, put in some earbuds, and sip on something delicious along with us.
Indeed.
So whatever it is that you have handy, sip on that.
Yeah. Get your turkey sandwich.
Ooh. Well, this is...
Is it that time?
Oh, well...
Are we a little early?
No, I think tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
This might be the thing.
Should I look it up?
Nah.
Okay.
Let's just pretend like it is.
Yeah, I think
And then
tomorrow is
if we're off,
Thanksgiving.
it's going to be really funny for everybody listening to it 2 weeks before.
I think tomorrow might be Thanksgiving. You're right. Turkey sandwich before Thanksgiving? But you're probably like...
You probably had one last night.
Yeah.
Because
Because
you've already got
let's
some
be
leftovers.
honest, most people are going to listen to this on Friday when they're like decompressing.
There it
from
is.
The,
Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, make yourself a turkey sandwich.
Yeah. Put some of that stuffing on it.
Do you put cranberry on it?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, every time.
Mayo?
Yep.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Stuffing, mayo, cranberry, anything else? Turkey.
Whatever I got.
I just throw it
Mashed
all on.
potatoes? Hell yeah.
Sure.
Put a scoop of that on there.
It's just like 2 pieces of white bread. Or you like hoagie or what are you doing?
It depends on what I got on
Okay.
hand. You know?
Just dinner rolls.
But, yeah.
Just smush dinner rolls together.
Crush.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely
yeah,
amazing.
Okay. You don't go out of the way is what I'm saying. Like whatever's available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be anything special. I just need it all together in my mouth at one time.
Sure.
You know who makes a great holiday sandwich?
Wawa.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I haven't
actually,
had that
yeah,
one. I need to try it. I'll do that this year.
Publix?
I haven't tried that. Oh, no, I have. I have tried that one.
It's okay.
But it's okay because they
It's-
don't do stuffing.
Yeah, it's a little mushy too.
But it's mostly just turkey and cranberry.
Yeah. Okay. Who makes a great sandwich?
Earl of Sandwich.
Oh, fantastic.
Earl of Sandwich's
my-
holiday
not
sandwich
wrong.
is
Bar none.
incredible.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you get it all year?
All year now.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you used to couldn't,
You used to couldn't,
but now
you can.
Yeah.
But now you coulda.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm gonna.
Yeah.
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 For sure. That is a fantastic sandwich.
Indeed. It's all in the bread. Their bread's fantastic.
You want to just go right now?
Yeah. Do they have whiskey?
We can bring our own. They're not gonna say anything.
All right. Well, what do we
Well,
bring?
somebody might say something, but okay. So let's do the episode. Get some whiskey.
Okay.
And then we'll go get
Go hit that turkey.
Yeah. Kyle, this week
Yep.
we've got a bottle that I did not pick up in Scotland.
Wow.
I know. And the reason that I didn't pick up this bottle in Scotland, even though I visited the distillery,
And you definitely could have picked
I
it up.
could
there.
have
You
because
saw
there was
it all
a
over the place.
mountain of the Ardbeg Spectacular. You read the title of the episode.
We're already there.
Yeah, everyone knows it's the Ardbeg Spectacular. I chose not to pick this up in Scotland, even though there was a mountain of it everywhere I went.
Was it cheaper here?
It was the same price here as
okay.
it was there. So
Yep.
there was that. But there was 50 mils more here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like in Scotland, the bottles are 700 mil.
Yep.
Here in the U.S., if you buy a U.S. bottle, it's 750 mil.
750.
Yeah. It was the same price. And actually, it might have been like $1 cheaper or more expensive. I couldn't remember one way or the other. Due to weight restrictions in checked luggage, I decided it would be a good idea for me to wait until I got home to purchase this bottle.
Yeah, that was super wise.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
why, if I can pay for the same price and get more,
Exactly.
and if I know I can find it here,
Mm-hmm.
then let me get something that I can't.
You know what I call that? Fiscal responsibility.
Yeah.
And I am nothing but fiscally
if
responsible.
not physically responsible.
Not physically, fiscally.
Like with your fist?
Correct. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Gross.
Let's get into the bottle.
All right.
Let's get into the bottle.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Squeaky pop. Can't beat it. Thank you, sir. This might do it, Nick. You might have awoken the beast.
It's poured up.
Pour it up.
I want you to leave it on the table for a second because I'm going to tell you, I've had a little bit out of this bottle, not a whole lot, but you're going to want to let it.
A couple of pours.
You're going to want to let it breathe just a second. Trust me on this one.
Okay.
Okay? All right. And I'm going to entertain you while we let that thing breathe for just a moment.
Let me cue up some music.
Go ahead. Wow, wow, wow. I've been feeling fine, baby. Or is it lately? I don't know. All right. I'm going to entertain you while we're waiting for our whiskey to cool off.
A little tap dance?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Like, did you cue this?
No, it just started playing in the background. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Well, roll up, ladies, gentlemen, and Ardbegians. Step right up and behold a modern marvel of maturation, Ardbeg Spectacular.
Yeah?
We present to you a spectacle of show-stopping flavors. Bear witness to a whiskey that exhibits all manner of peculiar notes and aromas. For the first time ever, Ardbeg Spectacular has been matured in rare port wine casks. Years in ex-bourbon and port wine casks have imparted a mesmerizing array of bizarre notes. Fragrant lavender, vetiver, and incense candles tumble into rich almond nuttiness.
Wow.
Deeper notes such as damp peat and wood smoke introduced a daring double act of creosote and tar before leather and minty chocolate leap across the sweet pear crumble and salted caramel fudge.
Whoa.
A bewildering display of distilling, Ardbeg Spectacular is a certifiable phenomenon on flavor. So come one, come all, and feast your palate on the most extraordinary spirit ever to grace this occasion. We call Ardbeg Day.
That was impressive, dude. You got my nickel.
Where'd the music go? I was getting used to it.
Yeah, I think it just like it finished with your poem there.
Yeah. So
what's the one thing? Vetiver.
It's used in a lot of like colognes. It's a very like masculine, like musky scent.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, masculine musk.
Masculine musk.
Yeah. It's It's
nickname in college?
Yeah, actually, yeah. 3 weeks at the end of senior year.
I was gonna say that's got to be a senior year.
It's definitely a senior year thing. Yeah, it was towards the end though.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Look at this box. It just looks circusy.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's big top.
Big top. Candy
spectacle
stripe.
of flavors.
Yeah, spectacle of flavors. It says smoky leather and creosote. It's kind of on the box here. It's I like Ardbeg's boxes.
It's an interesting take on marketing.
It is. Ooh, the by the way, Shorty is inside on the front cover.
Hey, Shorty.
Yeah, Shorty's still there. The peatiest nose on Isla, apart from Ardbeg, that is. So this is an Ardbeg Day.
It's also on the outside, then.
Is it? Oh, Shorty is. Yeah, Shorty's on the outside. Nice.
Did you meet Shorty?
I did not. No, I did. Shorty is the kind of the dog of Ardbeg. I did not see Shorty.
Was he not there that night?
There were dogs there. Like, it's a very dog-friendly place, but I did not see Shorty. No.
Bummer.
Yeah, it was. I was looking forward to seeing Shorty and touching the peatiest nose on Isla.
Peatier nose.
Peatier nose, yeah. So this comes in at 46% ABV, and it is a phenolic phenomenon. That's what it says.
Phenolic
Phenomenon. Would you like to know the parts per million for the peat?
Sure. 50, 28, 30. 33.
The PPMs for the parts per million for the Ardbeg Spectacular, best I could find was 55 PPMs.
Oh, man, I almost nailed it.
Yeah, you did. To give you an understanding of where that is, Lefroy is in that 40 PPM range.
Yeah, so this is up there.
It's a little bit higher than that. Yeah. Sure. All right. Up there? Well, considering like
it is a little bit up there.
Yeah,
Higher.
I mean, what I mean is like considering that most Octomores pushing over 100,
right?
Up into the 200 range. Come on.
But that's like the crazy thing about it is like that number is substantial.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like off-putting in that way.
No.
So like and I would almost even say that like I feel like I've had things,
with lower PPMs,
that feel smokier.
Agreed. I'm a sucker for Ardbeg special releases. This is like I said, a part of the Ardbeg Day release.
Yeah.
Which comes around.
This was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This was this year's?
Yeah, this was this year's Ardbeg Day release. So like last year was Heavy Vapors.
Right.
Year before that was Bizarre Barbecue. I think I might be getting that wrong. But every year they release something like wide and special, if you will, outside of like their just core lineup.
Right.
And normally these are things that people want.
Yeah. Well, they're Ardbeg.
They're Ardbeg. Color?
Who wouldn't want it?
Looks like Scotch.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not on the lighter end, but it's certainly not on the darker end. It's just kind of spot on in the middle.
Yeah, with a lot of these Ardbeg special releases, it's NAS, so we don't know the age, but right in the middle.
Yep.
It's got a little color.
Yep.
All right, shall we?
We shall.
On the nose. Oh yeah. I'm gonna say peat is not the first thing that comes to mind.
My first sniff it was. I've had at least 2 or 3 sniffs.
Okay.
And so I would agree now. It's certainly not. That first sniff, though, like it's hard to not acknowledge it first and foremost.
Yeah. What I mean to say is like, it's there. I recognize it's there, but it's not the first thing that's like, Pee! It's not, to me, it's not the first punch. It's actually this like really developed sweet note.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I get.
I don't disagree, but I also think that's not your whiskey amateur.
Sure, that's a good point. I think it's a product of doing this a minute.
Yeah.
But it's also 46. So, like, yes, if you were to give this to a whiskey novice, like they're going to get peat. That's all they're going to get.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things that we've had lately in the last, scotch that we had, which has been a couple months, I recognize that. Those were up there in proof.
Yeah.
Over 100. I think the majority of what we had was. So interesting that this is 46, and to me, it's like this well-rounded, almost like cobbler sweet,
like preservey.
Yeah. What did it say? The bottle or the sweet pear crumble? I don't know if I go pear, but like it feels like a not quite pie, but like pie adjacent.
Like I'm stuck in this like kind of florally honey, like almost like a lavender honey.
Sure. Yes,
kind of a thing.
Definitely. But let me ask you this though. This says a phenolic phenomenon. This is Ardbeg Spectacular.
Sure.
When I think Ardbeg, I generally think peat.
Yep.
Does the nose live up to spectacular?
Like, if I think of all those different descriptors that you read, sure.
Thesaurus.
Yeah. Like, there was a lot going on there. And, like, I feel like I am starting to get something of like a fudgy kind of a thing happening on the back end of it. Like some sort of like a funky cheese kind of a thing.
Funky cheese is not far off. Like almost a blue cheese.
Nah, I'm thinking like that real funky one. What's that absolutely dank cheese? Something burger. Limburger.
Oh.
Is it Limburger?
Maybe.
Camembert.
Yeah. Slightly soft and like just funky.
Stinky.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's like some of that hiding in the background.
And I feel the same way with Ardbeg's Barbecue. Like there's some funk.
Yeah.
Like there's a
lot of funk in that one.
Well, sure.
This one's a little more delicate.
Well,
funk.
exactly. And okay, I guess that's kind of my point with regard to like the name.
Sure.
Yes, those things are there. But when I think to other Ardbeg special releases and things that we've had, like to call this Ardbeg Spectacular, like, don't get me wrong, I think it's a great nose.
Right.
But like,
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily disagree that it is. In some of the other ones that we've nosed,
yeah,
it's a bit on the calmer side.
correct.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Okay. Good bit of peat right off the bat. Like a heavily burnt, toasted peat.
Yeah, it's definitely like old firewood peat.
Yeah.
Like it's campfire that's been out a couple of days.
Yeah,
Pete.
it's ashy.
Yeah, like I've stumbled upon a campfire lit by somebody else like 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna just use the bits of wood that are burned up here,
Right.
Like, just to start
There's a little bit of life in there.
Yeah. It's very ashy is correct. What do they say? Creosote-y? I think that's where they're going with that. Like
Right.
it feels, like the lingering of a cigar on the palate.
Sure.
It feels very much like that.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm getting like, are you getting a salty note? Like just to me, it's briny. Like it is salty. Did they put these barrels in the water? Like I've been to Ardbeg. Y'all right on the water. Did you put the barrels in the water?
Now, like for me, after the peat, it's all this sweetness.
Wow.
It's this honey, glazy kind of icing thing.
Ooh.
A lot of vanilla, I feel like.
Wow. No, for me, it's like it is. I get sweet, but I can't define it, and then I just get like I'm salivating, like how salty this is. It's really seawater. I'm gonna say this though. To me, the nose is way more muted than the palate. The palate's where this really shines, and I feel like that's interesting because, like, in a lot of ways, to me, if the palate just doesn't like grab me, then I'm like, the drink is fine.
Sure.
But this, like the palate is where, to me, it's like, whoa, okay. You got some things.
Like to me, with as much of the Barbecue as we've had, the Barbecue has so much of a, we always talk about like the umptious kind of meatiness of it, nature. And this one to me is way more desserty.
Absolutely.
In that pastry kind of way.
Like
not
creme
pastry.
brulee to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not thinking pastry. I'm thinking Danish.
Oh, okay.
Like in that realm.
Yeah, it definitely leans dessert. It's very sweet. Now that I've sat with it, like the salty nature has kind of subdued or subsided, and it is very sweet, but it's like it's a pastry that like you've charred the top of it.
Yeah, and it's covered in firewood ash.
Yeah,
you've been smoking a cigar. Yeah, and now you're eating a Danish afterwards.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the mouthfeel, like this thing just like lingers for days.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like that bitter does linger, but it's not in an offensive way.
No.
It gets right up next to it.
It does.
It really does.
It does.
It gets right up next to like this like medicinal bitter.
Yes.
But it doesn't cross over.
It's like almost cough syrup.
Yeah.
It's like
it tiptoes that line.
It's right there. And then it just pulls back just a little bit.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
We took you to the limit.
Okay.
One more time.
Oh, that's beautiful. Ardbeg Spectacular.
Yep.
I don't think it is.
What would you call it?
Ardbeg that it tastes good.
Ardbeg, something different.
Right. And like everyone knows that I love me some Ardbeg. But when I tried this, I cracked the bottle. I was so excited. I was like, yes, another Ardbeg special release. And I purposely looked up nothing about it.
Right.
And tried it. And I was like, Ardbeg in a glass.
Okay.
Yeah. The price of this bottle in our neck of the woods is around, let's say, 120.
Right.
And while I don't think that's wrong for generally where scotches, especially a special release scotch, should be,
right,
it's 46 and it's good.
Yeah.
It's not the experience of the Barbecue. And I think since having that, it's one of those like, yeah, but like Barbecue was 80 when it came out. I know you can still find bottles, and most of those bottles are in that 100 range, give or take.
Right.
Because it's becoming a little bit harder to find. But spectacular.
Yeah. And I think that's like the unfortunate thing for us of like coming off of Barbecue, which was just so punchy and different and interesting. I dare say like just about anything wasn't Barbecue a higher proof too?
Yeah, I think Barbecue is over 100.
Yeah. So like it's that too of this at 110 might be something spectacular because that's like, for me, unfortunately, that's kind of a bit of the problem is that there's not enough proof in it to overwhelm the sweet.
Right.
So the sweetness just stays the whole time
exactly.
and then subdues into that bitter. And so that's the two notes that you kind of get.
Yeah.
And there's some interesting things in there for sure, but man, a nice spiky proof pop would be delightful.
Is it worth the price at the 46 ABV? And I think that's where I am with Ardbeg. It's right. Like when Ardbeg, like the Corey Reckon, the Oakdal, the Barbecue, when you push that 100 range, that's where something like just magic happens.
Right.
And to be fair, like I think we're both more inclined to have a higher proof.
Yeah.
But that also kind of goes against some of our Scotch philosophy, and like Scotch has so much flavor at 46.
Right.
But here, to me, there's something with Ardbeg that like, yeah, you've got a lot and there's a lot going on, but it's almost like it's missing something.
I'd be interested to see if it's just Islay.
Oh, that's a good point.
Is it just the smoky scotches? Like, does that smoky scotch need that extra proof
to really stand out?
To add in an extra kind of layer to it?
Good point.
Because like I don't feel like I feel that way about like Highlands. I mean, I know Boona is also Islay.
Yeah.
But like Boona 12 is just so perfect where it's at.
Right.
It's 92?
I think so.
Which granted, so it's a little bit more, but it's not that north of 100, and it's
46. It's the same, yeah.
So it's true. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. For whatever reason, though, like the combination of flavors there of the fruit and the malty kind of nature of it, works as it is.
But
this, like the smoky quality, adds a weird.
But I think like what you just said, it's the smoke. While I would at this point not consider Boona a peated Scotch. Like there is like that Boona 12 has just a touch,
a whiff.
Yeah, but it's not. It's nowhere near Laphroaig. It's nowhere near Ardbeg. Ardbeg. It's nowhere near some of the Lottie kind of stuff. But yeah, I would say that there's the Speysides tend to impart more flavor at a 46 than the Islas do at 46.
Right.
The same thing for Lefroy. You put Lefroy at the 110 mark, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's completely different.
Right.
So
Sure.
I do like it.
Yep.
But I don't think it lives up to the name, A. And I hesitate with the price.
Yeah.
Because the price
if you,
is...
If you can just get Ardbeg 10 for like half price.
Or get the Corey Reckon, which is just a few bucks cheaper, or, I mean, some places, or it's about the same.
Or get the Wee Beastie.
Or get the Wee Beastie at like $50.
Yeah.
That Wee Beastie's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great scotch.
Yeah.
I don't feel like in any way I've been burned by the Ardbeg special release. I kind of felt that way with the Heavy Vapors a little bit.
Right.
But...
Was that one was even more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, price-wise.
I don't know why they did that.
But...
And then why Barbecue was much less and a much higher proof, like,
and just a better scotch overall.
Yeah,
I think it was one of those like, oh, we don't know how this is going to go, maybe. But for a brand that is willing to put themselves out there as being like the punk rockers of the scotch world,
right,
of the Isla world too, which is very much steeped in this kind of traditionalism in some ways. I don't know, like this is kind of playing it safe in some ways to me.
Yeah, it almost kind of makes me wonder, like I'd be really interested to hear like what the marketing process is. So like assuming that this is at least, let's say, 8 years.
Sure.
All right, so you've had it sitting there aging all this time, not knowing what it's going to be. So maybe around, like, I'm sure they do tastings year 6, year 7, so that like people who are in the know, people at the distillery, they can kind of see where this is going. And at that point in time, are they deciding on a marketing scheme? Like I would assume they have to be.
Yeah, I think so.
At least maybe 2 years out.
Yeah.
And trying to say, all right, this is where I think we should go with this one.
I wonder if they do the marketing first. Like we're gonna do all the marketing for this thing, and then eventually we're gonna find a scotch
which whiskey matches
like,
the marketing.
Yeah. I obviously I don't know that process, but
right.
I kind of have
certainly a way to go about it.
Like that might be something that they do.
Which of these barrels matches that?
Exactly. Or because it's not a single barrel, obviously they're doing some marrying of barrels here.
Right.
So then like they're picking things and like, okay, let's try that. So here we go.
Yeah. But I totally agree. Like it just the name doesn't quite seem to fit the experience.
Exactly. I don't want to say it's a miss, but
it's certainly like and I think it's just, again, I think it's the unfortunate for this specific release that it came after Barbecue.
Yeah.
And like what a home run that was for us specifically.
Yeah.
So like wanting to get that next one and be like, oh man, I can't wait to be wowed again.
Right.
Anything less than a 10 out of 10 was going to be disappointing.
Sure.
Not reaching expectation.
And I think that's a great point to end on when thinking about this particular drink, is that it's great.
Yeah.
But it's not the thing. It's not what we were searching for in that you got to knock now Barbecue out.
That's the fun of the process.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the fun of like, okay, I want to try something new. Like you get so excited about any kind of a new thing that you've yet to have, and like maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's gonna be it. Maybe this is gonna be amazing. It's good.
Absolutely, it's good.
It's really good. It won't be a bottle that's sad to be drank.
Nope,
by any means.
No, and I feel the same way with Heavy Vapors.
It doesn't hit that excitement that you had when you had Barbecue for the first time. That's exactly it. Like, and every time ever after.
That's exactly it. Like I don't think I'm gonna breeze through this bottle, but I'm not gonna be sad to like get down to the bottom of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like once you get down to the bottom, be like, all right, let's kill it.
Yeah,
that's
exactly it.
Boom.
Yeah. So before we transition into our conversation, Kyle, I think this would be a great time to ask everyone to support Drep and Stone.
Yeah, do the thing.
What is the thing?
So find us on social media.
Okay,
that's really easy. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're out there doing the thing. Come find us, like us, share a thing, comment on a thing. Give us a high five. Give us a smiley face. Laugh at it. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Just interact.
Huge.
It's great.
Another way to interact, Kyle, is you can rate us wherever it is you're getting great podcasts like Drep and Stone.
Super easy.
Super easy. And finally, another way to support the podcast, and probably like the most effective way.
Tattoos.
Face tattoos.
Right.
Like everyone wants to be Post Malone.
Right.
So get
forehead.
Yeah.
Drep and Stone.
Make sure it's backwards for you, which would be front ways for everybody else. Right? Is that how that works? If you can read it in a mirror, it's wrong. Make sure your tattoo artist is.
I think if it's correct on you, so that other people can read it, it's going to be backwards to you in the mirror.
That's what I mean. Yeah, yeah.
But
right.
I kind of like what you were saying though. Make sure it's backwards so that when you look in the mirror, you're pleasantly surprised every morning.
Yeah. Better yet.
Oh yeah, I do love Drep and Stone. That's
exactly.
Great.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. Easiest way for sure.
Better yet, we'll send you the image for the QR code. And then you can just get the QR code on your forehead.
Interesting.
You got to find a good tattoo artist for that.
Yeah, that's
because you don't want to mess that up.
Specific, yeah.
Because like who knows where it'll go.
Well, or nowhere. That's
right.
disappointing.
Yeah, we change the QR code and it just doesn't go. Yeah. Or like the tattoo artist messes up.
Yeah, just not good at it. And like
URL not found.
Like nothing.
Yeah, like, that's annoying.
That was a waste of
right
pain.
Right. And finally, you can support Drep and Stone through our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Drep and Stone. Keeps the lights on.
Easy peasy.
All right, Kyle, now that we have an Ardbeg pour.
Yes, indeed we do.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
It was yesterday.
Or it was yesterday because everyone's listening on Friday. Kyle, what should we talk about this week?
Man, I saw this crazy little thing on the gram. Just a little piece of news about that they are producing a jet that is beyond like a supersonic, but it's passenger.
Oh, whoa, okay.
It's a passenger airliner kind of a thing that is going to be able to go from New York to London. All the way across the ocean.
Okay.
Across the pond there. In an hour.
What?
Yeah.
That's a New York to London's what, a 6-hour flight?
Around that.
Yeah, maybe 7.
A couple of movies worth.
So a flight from New York to London should be 6 hours and 50 minutes. What about a flight from London to New York?
8 hours and 10 minutes.
Okay, so a little bit longer. Obviously, you're dealing with the
space whales.
Sure. Earth.
Yeah, rotations and things.
Correct. So an hour though, like you're cutting that substantially.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I know why you brought this up. Everybody's traveling right now.
Everybody's at that airport listening to Drep and Stone right now.
If you're not traveling, you're looking to your left and right, and those people are traveling.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're going to be traveling in a couple weeks anyway.
Right.
So you're either traveling for Thanksgiving or you're traveling for Christmas.
Right.
Everyone's traveling.
Yeah, everybody's got to take their turn.
So I recognize why you brought this up. I am
excited. You've made that flight.
I've made that flight. I don't mind that flight.
Yeah.
It's not like the payoff for that flight is way better than let's be honest, sitting in a metal tube for 7 hours is hell.
Right.
No matter how good of a seat you have or not.
Right.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It can be made better, in certain situations.
Sure.
Alcohol helps.
Yeah, we got lucky. One of the times we've made that trip, for whatever reason, we were on like a half-empty plane.
Wow.
Had like the whole row to ourselves.
Oh, fantastic.
It was great. Yeah, great experience.
Yeah.
Recommend it.
But
fully.
if I could make that flight in an hour, hell yeah. Except.
Yeah.
Existential
dread.
Exactly. Yes. You knew. Everybody knew where I was going.
Yeah, that's where your mind's at.
Yeah, for sure. Except a couple things. Being a realist in some ways, that's going to be hella expensive.
For sure.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, at least for the next 20 years.
Easy.
Until that becomes normalized.
Correct. And it's going to be a very expensive flight, and it's not a flight for the every person.
Right.
It's not supposed to be for the everyday traveler. It's supposed to be for the business individual who's hopping back and forth between London and New York and needs to do that quickly.
Right. Yeah.
That's who
it's for the executive.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's going to be priced accordingly.
Yeah, for sure it would be.
And so, in one sense, I'm like, all day. That
bring it.
That's going to save me so much time.
And frustration.
More frustration than time, I think.
Right.
And cramped legs and things like that. But the cost of that is going to be exorbitant. I mean,
yeah.
I never flew on the Concorde, but I know that the Concorde was obviously fast, but relatively uncomfortable because of the size of the plane. It's fairly small.
Right.
And also insanely expensive.
Yeah.
And so this is all well and good, but that's not going to be for everybody.
It's not going to be for everybody. And I don't know. To me, the experiences that I've had of going over the Atlantic, it's never been as awful as I feel like, I mean, certainly I certainly would have admit that I've been lucky.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been sitting next to a crying baby
Right.
or like a smelly individual or any of those kind of like classic like
horror stories.
Yeah, like what bad can go wrong. But to me, it's not that bad of a thing. And I think because of like how it tends to hit here, or at least I guess it's probably the way we've planned it, where it's usually like an overnight kind of situation. Most everybody's pretty chill and like, we got the lights down. Like I cannot sleep on a plane to save my life unless I'm drugged or I pass out. Right. Totally did that. But it's just kind of like a very, very chill setting anyway.
Agreed.
So to me, it's kind of like at no point in time would the price in our lifetime ever equalize itself to the benefit in time saving.
Well, and I think in some ways that 7-hour flight across to Europe, you've got to kind of earn this. Like there's something about the like, okay, I've got to take a 7-hour flight and the anticipation of the whole flight, like we're going to land and like we're going to be in a whole new country and like we're going to be in this case London,
probably
like,
a different climate.
Yeah, like this is going to be so cool. So there's a bit of that kind of anticipation, whereas if I remove all of that, like in one sense, yeah, awesome. I can be, X thousands of miles away in an hour.
London can be a day trip.
Correct. I can literally go to London. I can eat at the restaurant I like. I can go visit the whiskey exchange. I can be back by dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, let's do it.
Cool.
Sure. But also, like, then I can't. It's almost too easy in some ways. It's almost too throwaway.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to earn the thing.
Right.
I don't have to, like, have the anticipation. And I don't know if I'd miss it if I could afford this. But also, like, I think I would.
I think eventually where it gets to, because it's like, yeah, like, I mean, the way we progress through anything.
Sure.
Yeah, like, we'll trim that flight down. And maybe at some point in time, in our grandkids' lifespan, that'll be the norm.
Right.
Anywhere in the world within an hour.
Sure.
But, like, at this point in time, I think we're still, like, of an age that we appreciate a bit of a travel experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be instantaneous.
Exactly.
Like I recently made a trip up to Alabama. We drove it.
Right.
It's a 12-hour drive. Me and the kids kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like we kind of get a kick out of like that whole experience of stopping at Buckee's and
exactly.
like vibing to our music and like singing and doing the whole thing.
This is not the same experience, but like I am of an age, and you are of an age as well, where like you saw a movie in the theaters, and like a year later, it was on VHS, and you could watch it again.
Right
now, a movie's in theaters, and a month later, it's streaming.
Yeah,
like,
depending on how well it did.
Sure, yeah, for sure, yeah, absolutely.
Wolverine and Deadpool just got on streaming.
Correct.
I watched that shit like 3 months ago.
Wow,
come on now.
But I mean, in terms of like our perspective, that's a light speed.
Yeah, for sure.
So like. But you had that anticipation. It's the same thing we've talked about with streaming of shows. You used to have to wait a week, and there's all that stuff that you kind of like mulled over and contemplated, and you don't have to do that anymore. And that's great in some ways, and I think we lose something in other ways. Yeah. I'm not advocating for like this kind of like nostalgia-driven perspective necessarily, right. But what do you would miss spending 12 hours with your girls and vibing to music and stopping at Buckee's and those beautiful bathrooms and that the amazing buck nuts and things like that. You would miss all that.
Indeed. Yeah.
And
don't do the sliced turkey sandwich.
It's not worth it.
Nah.
You should do the brisket.
Hard
sandwich.
pass.
It's not bad.
Pulled pork was great.
Absolutely.
Sliced turkey?
Not worth it. Yeah.
No. That was a bad call.
Did you get some jerky?
Not this time.
Okay.
We haven't passed time.
You have. Yeah, it's good jerky.
The jerky bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another one of those things of the removal of time for rumination.
Right.
Like that just I look constantly at just like how we're moving into a different ways to remove that time of I've got to get through this.
Right.
And certainly nobody like loves that, but there's a lot of like awareness that happens there.
But I love watching movies, and I love like having like I have nothing to do for the next 7 hours. I'm going to watch 3 movies that I probably wouldn't sit down otherwise and watch straight through.
Agreed.
Things like that. I wouldn't have that opportunity.
But in that future, you'll have saved so much time that you could just do that in your Airbnb in London.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
What are you going to be doing instead?
Going to a whiskey exchange.
Going down to the pub.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Pub, whiskey exchange. Pub, whiskey exchange.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. That's how I roll.
Yep.
Borough Market, whiskey exchange.
Right.
Pub.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
That's the rotation.
Yeah. On that note, you got anything else?
No. Glass is officially empty.
We can fill it up again if you want.
Okay. Yeah, we should do that.
We should. Speaking of fill it up again, we want to know, what do you think about the Phenolic Phenomenon known as Ardbeg Spectacular?
It still sounds dirty to me. But yeah, what do you think about it? Have you had that chance? Or what has been your favorite Ardbeg special release?
We'd also love to know, what do you think about hypersonic jet travel?
Yeah, can you wait to just, get there instantly? Or do you enjoy that little bit of time to get there?
I'm not going to be satisfied until I can tell a Scotsman to beam me up.
Right, Scotty.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you didn't have
makes
to
sense.
say that. Like everybody knew what I was talking about. Well, you just want for those few that didn't.
Sometimes it was Chekhov.
Well, you want to what?
Sometimes.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
you want to.
Well, you want to be
instances
inclusive.
where Chekhov, did it.
Yeah, the writer
Yeah.
Anton Chekhov.
No, I don't remember.
Lady
what his
with the
first name
dog,
was.
the pearl. No, that wasn't Chekhov. Anyway, well, you can get in touch with us through email. It's Drep.
Sorry, you got me.
Well, you can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
We're really easy to get in touch with on social media. You find us on said social media, and you send us a message or you comment on a post and you like a thing, and it'll be great.
Yeah, hearts and stars and thumbs ups and all those
And
things.
chocolate bars.
Ooh, that's what I say.
Yeah.
We'd also love if you support the podcast. You can do so through our Patreon page. It's patreon.com. You can rate Drep and Stone wherever it is you find great podcasts like this one. And finally, Kyle.
You can shoot us an email.
And you can tell someone about Drep and Stone.
And you can tell somebody.
Yeah. On that note, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
Your ass never show. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Phenomenal. Cheers.